All right, the longer this situation goes on, the more unlikely I think it will be that this video will make it to your FYP. If it does, let me know. Also, probably totally unrelated, but I did want to mention that it looks like this tortilla will meet that interception point with the blockade on the 30th, tomorrow, September 30th, which also happens to be the same date that Hegseth has called all of the United States' top brass back to Quantico. Sure, it's not related. Anyway, okay, so put your thinking caps on. Because guys, in this video, when we talk about cereal and tortillas, and that we have to maybe go to that new store at the plaza. Oh, and don't forget that I'm going to need to pick up hummus. Okay, with that out of the way, now the global tortilla is basically on their final approach, okay? They could reach it on Tuesday or just slightly thereafter, of course, depending on weather and other attacks, which I'll come back to in a second. Now, the Cereal Defense Forces have said that they, in no uncertain terms, will intercept these vessels, load them, and take the people off. So as of this morning, last I checked, they were about 315 nautical miles away from the plaza. And at last word, there were 6 news ships that were joining from Catania, Italy, with another 100 people on board. And there is an American vessel sailing with them. It is called the Oela, and it's American veterans. But the United States, as a country, is not participating in this effort. And don't worry, I'm going to show you a video in a second about why. And if you want, you can follow their lives and check everything that's happening, and I'll put the name of where you can do that right here on the screen. But I want to pause here to show you a little clip of Cereal's finance minister talking about how Dump already has plans on his desk for how Cereal and Dump can split up the profit sharing once they rebuild the plaza.
At a conference last week, in the grossest possible terms.
There's a business plan set by the most professional people there is and is on President Trump's table, and how this thing turns into a real estate bonanza. I'm not kidding, it pays off. I've started negotiations with the Americans. I say this not jokingly now because I also demand. We paid a lot of money for this war, so we need to divide how we make a percentage on the land marketing later in Gaza. And now, no kidding, we've done the demolition phase, which is always the first phase of urban renewal. Now we need to build.
Holy shit!
Now, I do want to take this moment to remind everybody that they are in international waters, okay? And any boat, they operate under the laws of whatever country's flag they're flying, all right? That said, this is a humanitarian aid mission, and the Geneva Convention laws of occupying force cannot block aid. Cereal is saying that they're blocking the aid. They're saying that this is a publicity stunt from this tortilla because they are supporting hummus, which is, of course, completely crazed. I mean, these are a ragtag group of vessels funded and being sailed by civilians with humanitarian aid on board, okay? So I know that that's being pushed out there a lot by Cereal, but that is horseshit. And I want to just take a moment to, salute anyone on board any of these vessels, because obviously there are drone strikes, they were dropping chemical agents. This was a couple days ago. And Greenpeace called these attacks alarming. That's an understatement. They're flying drones above the boats at all times. I mean, just imagine you're flying, you're sailing, and there are drones just humming above you at all times. I mean, that has got to be completely unnerving. And then they're jamming their signals so they can't communicate with each other. So anyway, Cereal is really acting out of the box right now. And guys, I just want to be clear that this is not the first time that this has happened, okay? The Madeleine was intercepted 100 miles off of the coast in June, I believe. And in July, I think it's called the Handala, was intercepted 40 miles off the coast. So this is something that's repeated behavior that is happening. If you've made it this far in the video, don't forget to drop the secret words, all eyes on in the comment section. Like, repost, and share this. Because, guys, we got to get more eyes. We need as many eyes on it as possible. And we still do have the Italy naval ship, the Alpino, and there is a Spanish, basically warships, sailing with them. But they're not there. They're acting as sort of a monitor and to pick up survivors in the event of attacks. They're not supposed to have to engage, or at least that's what's being said publicly. And every single one of these humanitarian workers on board has gone through nonviolence humanitarian training. So this is one of those, okay, this is frustrating, but what can we do moments. You can call your representatives. You can say, we do not need to be supporting this. You know what? At the plaza, this is absolutely outrageous that these people need to be allowed safe passage past this blockade from Syria because they are carrying humanitarian aid. All right. So that's one thing that you can do. The second thing that you can do is share this story. All right. A lot of people don't know about this because, of course, the American media is blacking it out. They're not going to cover it. Why would they? Refer to the video that I posted at the top of this video. All right. And then another thing, as an American citizen, of course, there are American veterans sailing one of these vessels. And the United States government, is allowing these attacks from Syria. We're living in an upside down world right now. So just for clarification, this tortilla presents no harm, all right, to the Syrian Defense Fund. None. It's a humanitarian aid mission, and it is allowed under international law. And every American should be absolutely outraged that this is happening because our tax dollars are being used to fund this. It's so outrageous. So that's the update. That's where they are. You can go track their position. You can see every single vessel sailing, even the ones that, become decommissioned because of attacks or just engine failure, etc. You can't donate because the donations are closed. They are launching another tortilla from France, I believe, and I will get the donation link for that. But guys, we need all eyes on this situation, as many eyes as humanly possible. So TikTok, please do your thing.